Today on Vallo News, the latest look at the presidential search on campus.
And a catastrophe in Alabaster. Local cat cafe, the Lotus Cafe, is facing potential relocation.
Plus, Vallo track and field standouts placing in the top 25 in the country. Vallo News starts right now. Hello and welcome to Vallo News. I'm Preston Bennett.
And I'm Madison Smith. Thank you so much for watching our last show of the semester.
As the search for the next university president narrows, the final 4 candidates were announced via email last week.
Vallo News reporter Wesley Holsomback joins us in the studio with more.
The university has announced Holly Tankersley, Alejandra Sosa Pironi, and Blake Hudson and Michelle Johnson as the 4 finalists for the position. On-campus interviews will give members of the UM community a chance to meet all 4. Tankersley was on campus Monday and met with students and faculty. Pironi will be on campus Friday of this week. Hudson will visit campus next Monday and Johnson on Tuesday of next week to hold sessions with students and faculty. The student sessions will be held from 8:15 to 9:15 a.m. Faculty and staff sessions will be held from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on each candidate's respected day. The candidates will also hold introductions and Q&As from 11 a.m. to noon on those same days. All sessions will be held in the Allen and Lindsay Song Center for the Arts. We have more in-depth coverage of this story, including full bios of each candidate on our website, vallovisionnews.com. Madison, Preston, back to you.
Thanks, Wesley. In community news, an Alabaster business could be facing closure because of animals on the property.
VVN reporter Amanda Boo spoke with the owner of the Lotus Cafe about their uncertain future.
The Lotus Cafe has been in Alabaster for 3 years now, reaching its 3rd year on April 15th. However, with a new landlord, the cafe may be facing closure or relocation. Sky Valancourt, owner of the Lotus Cafe and founder of Ginger Cat Rescue, opened the business as a yoga studio, but with a twist.
I'm also a yoga instructor, so initially we also taught yoga, but I had been working at another yoga studio and it had closed, and I was just like, instead of working for someone else, like, why don't I just open my own yoga studio? I was like, but that's not enough, it needs something else.
Over the past 3 years, the business has reached over 130 adoptions and still continues to care for the cats through hard work, donations, and help from the community.
That means we've helped over 130 cats find good homes. This has built like a little community. We have like regulars who come at least once a week and are super supportive.
The business area was sold in October of 2024 to a company called Retail Specialist and is now saying cats are not allowed due to what the Cat Cafe lease states.
When we first came here, it was a different landlord and they were totally fine. But we had originally wanted to do like an actual coffee shop, so that's technically what our lease says, but we did get permission from the first landlord that cats were okay. Like, we have it written down. It's just not in the lease, so that's what they were talking about. But we showed them all of that, and then they still didn't really want to renew our lease, but we're now are back to doing once a month. They're okay with that.
I reached out to the landlords for a comment but did not get a response back. Valancourt expressed that the landlords are concerned about potential damage for future tenants. They hope to stay but are looking for other locations.
Here Monday to take a look, I guess, because they were telling us like the cats are unsanitary and they like have messed up the place, and so I'm assuming they want to come like scope it out. But I mean, we're still keeping our eyes open for some other spaces.
For more information, you can check out their Instagrams at Lotus Cafe and at Ginger Cat Rescue. You can also donate and volunteer to help out. Amanda Booth, Vallo News.
To find more on the story, visit vallovisionnews.com.
Local businesses can make a big impact on communities. Cedar Creek Nursery recently hit 20 years of service in Montevallo. VVN reporter Aiden Peach has more.
Cedar Creek Nursery, a local plant store in Vallo, recently hit 20 years of service. I spoke with one of their employees to get an inside scoop.
Cedar Creek Nursery is a full-scope plant nursery. We carry annuals, perennials, shrubs, trees, soils, and soil amendments, anything you would need to create a good garden.
Volunteers are seen throughout the nursery, organizing and maintaining the plants.
Spring is our busiest time and prettiest time. I love the positivity here. I love that my boss and all of my coworkers are very positive and warm-hearted, and it really does, like, I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but it really does feel like we're all a team that wants to help each other. And then just being around plants is just like soul food for me, so I just love being here. I'm just constantly looking up individual plants on my phone. I get tons of books from the library and just read through library books, browse stuff online, watch videos, just any of it that I can learn, I try to learn, especially native plants. That's my specialty.
Cedar Creek Nursery houses thousands of plants and continues on in the community to be a special spot for locals and students alike. Reporting for Vallo Vision News, I'm Aiden Peach.
Cedar Creek Nursery has also opened a second location in Helena. The Montevallo Organization of Gaming, also known as MOG, hosted its annual Renaissance Fair on April 15th.
The event was held in the Student Activity Center and featured sword fighting, free elf ears, and themed beverages like butter beer and lemonade with edible glitter. The event ended with a costume contest. We spoke with the faculty advisor over MOG, Dr. Benton Tyler, on why he loves putting on this event for students of MOG and Montevallo.
Themselves, and it doesn't cost anything to the students, you know, so it's I think that's also a really good aspect of it, that it's just something they can enjoy in a few weeks before finals.
For more information on MOG, you can check out Falcon Link. The end of the semester is fast approaching.
With less than a week until finals, students are setting up for studying. We hit the bricks to hear how students are feeling about this busy time of year.
It's kind of a little stressful. I mean, it feels like just a lot is happening all at once. But I feel like once, next week actually starts, it'll be smooth sailing.
Oh, it's been really busy. I also study a lot on the bus. I think my teammates do the same. And between matches, as we're watching, we study a lot as well. So.
Remember, there's always more news 24/7 on our social media pages. Just search for Vallo Vision News on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe while you're there.
Vision News, the Montevallo Music Department says goodbye to several retiring faculty members, but one musical duo's departure resonates with students.
Plus, one club on campus is bringing some interesting critters on campus to raise awareness. We'll be right back.
Your passion deserves the perfect academic fit. With programs spanning arts, sciences, business, and education, Montevallo helps you follow your unique path. Montevallo means more choices of majors, because your future is up to you.
Welcome back to Vallo Vision News.
After decades of shaping musicians and mentoring students, two beloved professors at the University of Montevallo are taking their final bow. I had the honor of discussing the retirement of the Artavino duo this past week.
The University of Montevallo Music Department recently held a reception for faculty preparing to retire, but for a lot of students the focus shifted. After decades of teaching, Dr. Joe and Dr. Lori Artavino have become a core part of the program, but their impact goes beyond the classroom, shaping both musicians and people.
It's something that I have always loved about both Dr. Joe and Dr. Lori is that they always make you feel seen as a person, and even when we're all going through personal struggles, they always make sure to be there and support their students through that time while still pushing them to be good musicians. And especially having Dr. Lori as my studio teacher has been something super special, because I have went through one of the worst parts of my life while taking lessons with her, and she still, while also being there and being kind and understanding, pushed me to levels I didn't know that I could go to, and honestly has kept me from dropping out of college so many times. So she and Dr. Joe are both just great faculty members, and they really care about their students, and I'm going to miss them so much.
As they step away from the classroom, the Artavinos leave behind a legacy that stretches far beyond campus. Years of mentorship and unwavering support have shaped a generation of musicians and educators, and while their absence will be felt in every rehearsal space, their influence continues in the lives of the students they've inspired. For Dr. Joe Artavino, it's the students and the journey that have meant the most.
Well, my favorite part about Montevallo in general, but teaching here particularly, has been not only making music, beautiful music with wonderful people, but it's a family. And I've sort of become Papa Joe around here, and it's been, a very, very warm and loving place to be. And I have tried to nurture that in our students, as well as just enjoying my time here, making great music, and having wonderful interactions with you young people, social networking with my youth around here, and enjoying my time.
The Artavinos' final performance for UM will be April 23rd at 7 p.m. in Palmer Auditorium.
The ASL Club hosted a sign language supper at Sophie's Kitchen last Thursday.
Students were invited to have Southern food and chocolate cake with the club while practicing American Sign Language. Over the course of the meal, students spoke mostly in sign language, stopping only to explain out loud to others who don't speak ASL.
UM recently hosted the 4th annual ASL Expo on campus. BVN reporter Santos gives us an inside look at what it takes to host such a major event.
Expo is an annual University of Montevallo event with nearly 250 educators, activists, students, and interpreters coming from across the state. Participants engage in panels, lectures, and games, and are encouraged to communicate using only American Sign Language with members of the deaf community. The university welcomed vendors such as deaf artist Martha Dockery and EDHH program alumni Naomi Maddox. The expo also showcased local resources, for example, Hands and Voices, Alabama Institute of the Deaf and Blind, and Sign Language Interpreting Services.
When the semester starts, that's when it really starts getting crazy. So this year I've been working a lot with managing our volunteers and our sponsors. There's just so many moving parts to it, because there's the schools, there are individual participants, there are vendors, departments, volunteers, just general students here on campus. So they all have to have different information. It's like basic things that you wouldn't really consider as being super time consuming, but it truly is. Like name tags for over 200 people, bags, trying to get all the different pamphlets that are supposed to go in them, and then reserving spaces, making sure that there are enough tables in each spot, enough chairs, making sure that like your sound equipment works, and reaching out to so many wonderful people here on campus that really we couldn't do it without all of the incredible people in our faculty and our students that really just support this event and help it thrive.
Filming for the ASL Expo was a particularly unique experience. I have worked and attended conventions and expos in the past, but this was completely different. The stress of setting up such a large event faded behind the beauty of being outside, communicating in silence, and connecting with nature and the people around me. I got the opportunity to learn signs from the ASL Club and interpreters to communicate who I am and my role to the attendees. I am incredibly grateful that I got to attend such an amazing event and spotlight this important event.
We want to encourage students to continue their journey of learning American Sign Language. It's a lifelong journey. We want them to be able to get involved in the deaf community and just make sure that they continue to advocate.
In other campus news, the Environmental Club hosted Earth Fest last Thursday, and it included some interesting animals. Earth Fest was held on Main Quad and had free food and live music, but one thing stood out at the event among others. Different organizations set up tables to show off their company, but Alabama's 4-H had special guests, a snake and tortoise. According to E-Club member Luke Alexander, the event served its purpose and will help promote future sustainability.
The main goal is to promote sustainability on campus, and I think we've done a great job with that. We've hosted cleanups. We've had crafts where we reuse things that people would throw away, so instead of it going to a landfill, it ends up as like a decoration on your wall. So yeah, we're just promoting sustainability on campus.
For anyone looking to join E-Club, they are hosting elections tonight at 6 in the Tower.
Still ahead on VVN, Montevallo's lacrosse has made playoffs. See the top honors for their coach and some players next.
We believe education is nothing without experience. Through undergraduate research, community projects, and interactive classrooms, students don't just learn concepts, they live them. Montevallo means more hands-on learning for real-world wins.
Welcome back to Vallo Vision News. Now it's time for a look at UM athletics.
Montevallo's men's lacrosse has claimed the Peach Belt Conference regular season title, securing it with a 20-13 win over Lander on Saturday. The Falcons were perfect in conference play, going undefeated and winning all 4 of their matchups. Head coach Jason Lang was named the Peach Belt Conference Coach of the Year, while Alex Agorshin was named Goalkeeper of the Year for the 3rd consecutive season, and Matthew Boas was named Attackman of the Year. They'll now host the Peach Belt semifinals and championship with Montevallo, set to make its semifinal debut Friday at 4 p.m. against Alabama Huntsville.
Many Falcons on the track and field team have reached NCAA provisional marks, but there are 2 that have a chance to go to nationals. Senior Christopher Johnson and senior Jeremiah Fales both sitting top 25 in their events. Fales is 21st in the nation in Division II in the 100-meter dash, while Johnson sits in 7th in the discus throw. The NCAA takes the top 22 athletes in each event, meaning both Johnson and Fales would qualify if they stay ranked where they currently are.
On Tuesday night, the Montevallo Falcons baseball team hosted Dollar Hot Dog Night. Everyone in attendance was able to purchase $1 hot dogs at the game. The Falcons took down Columbus State by a final score of 8-5. Dollar Dog Night isn't just another event, as athletic director Mark Richard explained. The funds raised are going to a very special cause.
For physical plant, he loved to cook for our student athletes, and he'd have barbecues, he'd have team meals. You know, Johnny passed away, unfortunately. We've been raising money for the Johnny Holsomback endowment, and so tonight is we're charged $100 for hot dogs, and it'll go to his endowment. So.
UM's National Panhellenic Council hosted a field day on Brook Quad this past Friday. This gave students an opportunity to gather together before preparations for finals are underway. They provided food and drinks for those in attendance and featured field games such as dodgeball, tug of war, and water balloon fights. For more information on MPHC events, just search for Montevallo_NPHC.
Coming up on The Buzz, a Michael Jackson true story hitting the big screen in 2 days. See how the film pays tribute to the King of Pop.
Cameron Short joins us for The Buzz when we come back.
Your college years aren't just about academics. From college night traditions to local hotspots, there's no shortage of things to do. Every year of your education, Montevallo means more fun and memories along the way.
Welcome back to Vallo Vision News.
Buzz anchor Cameron Short joins us now with a look at the entertainment and pop culture stories that have us buzzing this week. Welcome, Cam.
Thank you guys so much for having me. The American Film Institute honored Eddie Murphy in his 5-decade career this past weekend. The Institute awarded him with the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award. Previous recipients include Francis Ford Coppola, Nicole Kidman, and Julie Andrews. Other actors and comedians such as Tracy Morgan and Keegan-Michael Key made an appearance on the red carpet. This year's event raised more than $2.5 million to support the American Film Institute nonprofit. Netflix will stream the ceremony starting May 31st. And the long-awaited Michael Jackson biopic finally reaches theaters this weekend on April 24th. David Daniels has a preview.
Y'all willing to fight for it?
Yes, sir.
I need to hear you a little louder. Y'all willing to fight for it?
Yes, sir.
Ready whenever you are, Michael.
Michael shows how Michael Jackson went from child star to the biggest star in music.
I believe music can change the world.
The King of Pop is played as a boy by Giuliano Valdi, then by Jafar Jackson, Michael's nephew.
I really dived into his personal writings and journaling that really informed me on what he was feeling and thinking in a lot of those moments, and also why he wanted to write certain songs, and just seeing his vision in writing was incredible and informed me tremendously.
Just have all these songs in my head. Just gotta get them out.
I would try to write notes. So Michael Jackson, he would write like "Make It Shine" and he'd put it on his on the mirror. On his mirror, and I would put that on my mirror, and that helped motivated me.
You are the greatest of all time.
Michael's such an icon. You have to divorce yourself from that and deal with the human being. And it's easier when you have great actors who can bring that to the table. Just meeting Jafar and Giuliano, immediately you could feel the spirit of Michael just based on who they are.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
So what song are y'all mostly looking forward to hearing in the film if you go to see it?
I would really love to hear Smooth Criminal or even Dirty Diana. I don't know if we'll hear that one, but I
like
think it would
that
be
one.
nice.
That's a good pick.
I'd say my favorite is probably The Way You Make Me Feel. I really like that music video. When I was little, I'd watch it like on repeat all the time.
Like, that just seems like we got a bunch of bad favorites. The 2026 NFL Draft will take place in Pittsburgh in the lot surrounding Archer Stadium, and Point State Park. Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza is currently projected as the #1 pick according to many analysts, where he will likely land with the Las Vegas Raiders. Additionally, former Taunton High School defensive tackle Peter Woods, who attended Clemson University, is projected to make history as the first ever first-round pick from Shelby County. WrestleMania 42 took place in Las Vegas with a 2-night special this past weekend. The pay-per-view had hosted by the WWE legend John Cena and drew over 100,000 fans across the 2 nights, making it one of the highest grossing events in WWE history. Key matches from this weekend included Obafemi getting a huge win over Brock Lesnar, which would later on be announced as the final match of his career, and undisputed Universal Champion Cody Rhodes retained against Randy Orton. Lastly, the World Heavyweight Championship was on the line in the main event of Night 2, with Roman Reigns claiming the gold over CM Punk to close out the event. To see more information on the results of each match that took place this weekend, go to WWE.com. So who exactly is y'all's favorite wrestlers, if you have any by chance?
Well, Madison, do you want to start?
Sure. I only really know Macho Man Randy Savage. I hate to say, I'm so sorry.
I mean, that's a good pull, in my opinion. I think so.
That's a good pick. Yeah, I like Roman Reigns. He grew up in Pensacola, same place where I grew up. So, yeah, I heard a lot of stories from one of my head coaches who actually coached him when he went to Pensacola Catholic High School. So
that's really cool.
It's really cool.
Awesome.
So, yep. All right, well, thank you, Cameron. Remember, there's always more news from our team of reporters on our website, ValloVisionNews.com.
That's all the time we have for today's show.
Thanks for watching all year long. We hope everyone does well on their finals, so be sure to tune in to ValloVision News again in the fall.